where was Sam most wrong? So I will let you run through quarterback to specialist. Give us the recap. Where were you most wrong? That's where we're going to get to with the chat here in a second. Also, hit that like button while Sam's giving us a recap of his 53-man roster. Like the show, please, on Facebook and on YouTube. Sam, recap us.
All right, quarterbacks. I've got 2 quarterbacks, Levison Rudolph. Malik Willis does not make the cut, opted for other players on offense getting the nod over him, and only 6 wide receivers. Jaquan Jackson gets the 6th spot. Notable omissions include Mason Kinsey and Kieris Jackson, both dealing with injuries throughout this last week of training camp, trying to fight for a roster spot. The question, do the Titans keep 7? Or do they keep 4 running backs? That's what I've got down. Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard, Julius Chestnut, Hassan Haskins all make the team. Chestnut is the more formidable offensive option behind Spears and Pollard. Haskins, the special teams demon, according to Brian Callahan, is one of the 53 best players for Tennessee. Tight ends, Josh Wiley, Chigakonko, Nick Vannett, David Martin Robinson. Martin Robinson, somebody who maybe not active on game day, but somebody who the Titans are going to want to keep on their 53 to try and develop the young tight end. I don't think he gets through waivers to another team. He probably gets claimed and put on a 53. The Titans don't want to lose him. So 4 tight ends, and they go a little bit bigger at the position. Only 9 offensive linemen, though. The versatility of Daniel Brunskill off the bench, his ability to go from tackle to guard to center, gives you the ability to keep 9. It's 4 tackles, 3 guards, and 2 centers for the Titans, and no real surprises with Jalen Duncan beating out Leroy Watson for the final spot as a tackle. To the defense, the defensive line has 5 defensive linemen on the interior. Simmons, Sweat, and Joseph Day all locks. Keandre Coben, the clear number 4, and Quinton Bohanna gets a spot for me. But Isaiah Eiton, certainly an argument for him there, and potentially a spot where Tennessee could look to claim a veteran option after waiver cuts are made. Outside linebacker, I go thinner with only 4. Landry Key, Jalen Harold jumps Rashad Weaver as the outside linebacker 3, but Weaver still makes the team. Tennessee doesn't need to go deeper at this position because Jamal Adams can rush off, from his safety position, can bring some pressure. Kenneth Murray gets downhill, puts pressure on the quarterback as well. And quite frankly, the depth is bad. Nobody else has done much to warrant getting a roster spot. Inside linebacker, the most chaotic position group of the entire roster. Kenneth Murray, Jack Gibbons, Chance Campbell have all cemented roster positions for me. James Williams, a 7th-round rookie that has a lot of upside and continues to improve in training camp. Titans very high on his development. And I sneak Cedric Gray onto the team. 4th-round pick for the Titans out of North Carolina, dealing with a shoulder injury and has been for weeks, has not been able to play in the preseason for Tennessee, doesn't really deserve a roster spot, but you loved what he did at UNC. You love what he could be in the future. Do they get tricky? Put a guy on IR, maybe find a way to get Otis Reese or Luke Gifford on the team. I've got my eyes locked in on inside linebackers as the roster comes out. Cornerbacks, it's 6 corners with Snead and Awuzie down. The Titans have played Roger McCreary, Jarvis Brownlee, and Trey Avery as their starters. Gabe Judy-Lawley, the surprise candidate out of the University of Tennessee, makes the team for his physicality and his continued improvement, as well as the versatility he brings to Denard Wilson's defense. At safety, it's your 4 vets, Hooker, Diggs, Adams, and Molden. Matthew Jackson, the surprise for his special teams impact, 2nd on the Titans in special teams tackles last year, or maybe 1st on the team. I don't remember what the stat was. He sneaks onto the roster, has also led the Titans in interceptions in training camp with 3. Matt Jackson, a local product, sneaks onto the team. The specialists, no surprise. It's Nick Folk, Ryan Stonehouse, Morgan Cox.
All right, so where were you most wrong? I think you were most wrong on the interior D-line. I kind of talked about that in the main segment. We went through it. I think keeping 3 big guys that are over 330 pounds is not going to be what they're going to do. So I think Bohanna doesn't make the team. I think it's either Eiton or McClendon, even with the turf toe, that can be that placeholder until they go claim somebody else off waivers for that spot. I think, Sam, I know you guys are doing Titans media, who can have the most correct with the 53-man roster. You got a good one because I saw a comment right here from Adam says, Sam did nothing wrong. Good roster and even better haircut. Sam's on fire.
Oh,
I think you're going to miss 4. I think 4 are going to be wrong. I think you're going to get 49 out of 53. There's just always a wild card that nobody's expecting that does it. But I think the most wrong was that 5th D-line spot.
Okay. I mean, I'll take 49 out of 53. I'm really hoping to hit 50 this year. Really hoping to hit 50 correct.
That's
That would be a
tough.
nice little it's very hard though, because like you said, there's just things that we can't even really see all the time. It's like, oh, Anthony Kendall made the team. And you go, oh, well, nobody really had that one. All right.
Yeah.
Like, so big surprise there. But yeah, they are due before the game in New Orleans. So I'll have to submit that. And I'm feeling good. The chat thinks I'm wrong with 4 tight ends. I've seen a lot. Jay thinks it's 7 wide receivers and 3 tight ends. Patrick Bird says 4 tight ends and Avery making the roster. Trey Avery ain't no way. I think it's
Gonna
gonna be
happen.
Trey Avery, guys. I'm
Gonna
sorry.
happen.
I'm sorry. Cornerback and quarterback. Raz says 7 wide receivers. DeMarco says Billy Jones says 4 running backs. We got more Trey Avery cut. Look, I am with you guys. Do not take this as like I would keep Trey Avery on the roster. I'm with you. It's a prediction though, and I have to be honest. I got to give you guys truth, and I'm getting you ready. I'm preparing you now for when Trey Avery has made the Titans 53-man roster. You guys are like, yeah, soften the blow a little bit. You'll be ready for it. It won't be a surprise.
Yes. Yep. All right. Where do you think you're most wrong? Where are you kind of most?
Nowhere. I think I'm 53.
Oh, you're solid.
Yeah. I mean, I do think inside linebacker is the hardest to predict.
Yeah.
I can absolutely hear your argument on interior defensive line as well. But for me, I just feel nervous about inside backer because I know how many variables are at play. Like, I think I could get 2 wrong at inside linebacker because this guy's on IR. They're adding a player that I didn't have on, and then they're you don't know, right? So maybe it's not Cedric Garay. Maybe it is Otis Reese instead of James Williams. There's just it's a really competitive position group that like genuinely is interesting because coming into the year, it was this group is terrible. Like they're thin,
right.
And it's been a surprise how many guys have played well at inside backer. Like Chance Campbell has had a heck of a training camp and a heck of a preseason. James Williams, Otis Reese, both made late pushes to make this team and continue to sort of ascend. You've got Luke Gifford, who I thought shined in some practices on defense when he got opportunity before going down, is obviously a special teams impactful special teams player. Garrett Wallow probably makes this team if he doesn't get the tear his pec and go out for the year. So there's just like a lot of guys that have shined, and we thought Cedric Gray might be like the number 1 inside linebacker when he was drafted. Somehow he's your 5 now, and you're still okay. So it's just an interesting group that I think I could potentially have misread, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Look, I like it. 53-man roster projection. Your article will be out today, Saturday, Sunday?
Today.
All right.
This afternoon. Yeah, this afternoon it'll be out.